Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa exactly 9:21 a.m. We also welcome our Polokwane listeners on One Nation FM. A very warm welcome to you. We do hope you will keep us company for the next hour. And what's coming up in the next hour is 16 days of activism of no violence against women and children. Leanne Germanos will be talking to us. She is a campaigner for change. Also on the show, we will talk with Professor Mohammed Harun, senior researcher at Al Jamal, and we're looking at the registration of the Muslim Marriages Bill, which is up for its first reading. But first up, we speak to leader of the National Freedom Party, and that is you, of course, Brother Ahmed Manzoor Sheikh Imam. We are going to be looking at a very, very worrying trend here in South Africa. The NFP is appalled by the shocking increase in crime in South Africa. This follows the release of crime stats for the period July to September 2022. So we are shocked and horrified. What do we do about it? How do we deal with the situation? Because we do know part of it is because of the large scale corruption by leaders in the country, by politicians, and I guess throughout society, corruption is absolutely rife. Where and how do we move forward? Or is a pleasure talking with you, Ahmed Manzoor Sheikh Imam, leader of the NFP in Parliament. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And shukran for having me on the air this morning.
Okay, always like to hear your insights, and hopefully, I don't know if it's being too optimistic to also expect solutions going forward.
Yes, indeed. Of course, I think every problem must have a solution. Otherwise, there's no point in discussing it. And what is norm in the country is, particularly with politics, everybody attacks everybody else, but nobody wants to give you solutions. However, let me start off by saying that you can roll out tens of thousands of police officers. You're not going to deal with the issue of crime. You can pour more and more financial resources. You are not going to be able to deal with the issue of crime. What we need to do is get to the root causes of crime. And so let me just start off by telling you what, in our view, is some of the root causes. First of all, you have a very, very high unemployment rate. Then you have a high level of dysfunctional families. The availability of drugs and alcohol, taverns and shebeens open 24 hours a day. Added to that is the poor socio-economic conditions under which our people live, malnutrition or hunger. Many of these people are going hungry to bed. Some of them are dying because of hunger. Water and sanitation, poor lighting in some of these areas where they live. Now, these are all just some of the contributing factors. Added to that is the poor quality of basic education, which does very little or nothing to attract learners to school. Now, that's some of the problems that we've identified as the root causes of why we have such high levels of crime. Added to that, of course, is the fact that if you look at the latest statistics, 118 women are raped in this country every single day. Let us be honest about this, that you can, and many of these are committed by perpetrators known to the victims or live together in the same home. You cannot expect the police to actually police every home. But we need to ask ourselves, what is going on there? We have many, many civil society organizations, NGOs, billions of rands are being spent with these civil society organizations as well to fight gender-based violence and things. But we're not yielding positive results. Why do we have to wait for a woman to be raped or murdered before we shout and scream or come up with billboards outside the courts saying that, no bail for perpetrators or murderers and rapists? Why are we not able to nip it in the bud at an early stage so that we can identify the root causes and find solutions? Now, some of the solutions that the NFP have identified, first of all, we've suggested, if you go to some of these schools, the quality of education is so poor. There are no extramural activities. There's nothing really there to attract learners to school. There are children in some of the schools in Hanover Park and others, 7, 8, 9-year-old children will tell you that we are wasting our time coming to school. We're going to become gangsters. But another thing that I've picked up is this 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old children, particularly in the Western Cape, and not that it doesn't happen in other, have never seen the inside of a school up to this very day. Now, what some of the solutions we are suggesting is, first of all, at school level, what you need to do is introduce something like safety ambassadors or so-called social workers, if that's what you call it. Identify learners that are coming from dysfunctional families or problematic families. Then, of course, have social workers deployed on the ground. And remember, in this country, we have tens of thousands of them that are unemployed but qualified, many of whom were funded by government in any event. Roll them out into these communities. Let them work together with civil society, organized policing forum, neighborhood watch, anti-gender-based violence institutions, organization. So the moment you know and identify a home that there's a problem, you need to go out there and solve that problem or assist them to get over that. You know, I want to say this again. No boy or man is born a rapist or a murderer. We need to ask ourselves what went wrong, when did it go wrong, why did it go wrong, how did it go wrong, where did it go wrong? And the thing is this, we are forgetting something that, and I know many people are even just attacking the men. Women must also take responsibility, because every murderer or rapist is somebody's son or somebody's brother, somebody's child somewhere. And the question is what went wrong. So we need to get to the root cause of. Now, sometimes more often,
Okay.
you know, the 70, yeah.
Let me come in
Okay,
here.
let me
You
go.
you make very, very valid points. What I worry about is, you're the first time in a long time I've heard someone talking sense. Whatever you have talked about now, you know, you kind of almost say it's that aha moment for all of us. This is what needs to be tackled. But then it brings me to my question of, you talking long-term solutions. In the interim, what is going to happen to tackle those long-term solutions? It's going to take a couple of years to get these issues in place with our corrupt government and everything else that is so dysfunctional in South Africa. And also implementation. Who is going to monitor the implementation and see that we get it right? Because this is not an easy fix. This is hard work. It requires lots of resources, human and other, financial resources, etc. And we need buy-in and we need commitment, because we're talking long term. How do we move forward?
First of all, let me tell you, if anyone tells you there's a quick fix solution to this and they're going to solve it in the next 12 months, I can tell you without any shadow of doubt, they are misleading you and the public.
Absolutely.
You know, in many instances, in many things they've been telling you for the last couple of years, energy is one thing. They tell you they're going to sort it out, they sort nothing out. What you don't have here in the country is the political will to be able to sort out these issues. So for us, we believe that you have to look at the long-term solution. The other problem you got is your criminal justice system. In fact, it favors the criminals more than the victims. You arrest them now, 2 hours later, they're out on bail. You need to tighten up on the criminal justice system. But the other problem is this. You know, if you look at the statistics, tell me, in a police station, and a lot of these murders are committed in Nyanga, Khayelitsha, those areas. How many detectives have you got there? Some detectives are sitting with docket load of about 100 or 200 dockets. You can't do justice to more than 5 or 10 dockets if you want to investigate these things thoroughly and bring them to justice. How are you going to deal with 100 and 200? So I can tell you there is no quick fix or immediate or short-term solution as far as crime is concerned. You know, I have raised with the president, the former president, a long time ago about considering at least a referendum on the death penalty for serious and violent crimes in the country. He wrote back to me, tell me, no, it's inhumane. And I said to him, but then is it humane for one person to take the life of another innocent person? He said, no, the other countries have also done away with it. But countries that have implemented it have a lower level of serious and violent crimes. There's no doubt about it. So let me start off by saying, I think we need to start working with our children. The first thing is that no child should be outside of school. You know, we give grants, social assistance to child support grants and things. There is no mechanism anymore in this country to be able to establish whether that child is the actual recipient of this grant. It goes to the mother. 9 out of 10 times the mothers are nowhere near any children. The other problem, you got 78% of black children particularly do not have an absent father. There's no father in their homes. So tell me, with the availability of alcohol, drugs, the taverns are open 24 hours. There are no jobs. You understand? How are you going to have a short-term solution? No. You must have a holistic approach to solve these problems. And we still believe, and I can tell you, I'm trying to do my share. Maybe we all should try and do our share in trying to bring people there, bring these learners and save these learners, because these learners do not choose to find themselves becoming criminal. They become criminal, they absorbed into society. Can you imagine 10 children standing in a street corner? They don't even go to school. They have no parents that are monitoring them or anything of that sort. And there comes a drug dealer and manipulates them, give them a few rand here and there. What are you expecting those children to do? That is why I say even the school should be attracting learners. Sports development, arts, culture, make it so lucrative that children want to come to school and stay in school. Did you know that 1 in 2 children that start school don't finish school? They don't. 60% of those that go to tertiary institutions, to TVET colleges, drop out in the first year. These are the shocking statistics. 91,000 children last year gave birth to children. Children as young as 10 years old gave birth, and we think it's okay. You know, so there's a lot of work to be done. But I want to assure you, there is no quick fix. And if anybody tells you they're going to sort it out in the short term, you know, they can't sort it out. So for me, I'd rather concentrate on the long-term solution, starting with the children today, taking them off the street, keeping them in school, giving them love, giving them attention, giving them guidance, giving them wisdom, you understand, to create a better society tomorrow.
How do we get people, and I've got very limited time. Within the next minute, I'm going to have to wrap up. I could sit here all day talking to you. How do we get buy-in from all people in all participants concerned? It's not only you as a politician, it's me as a taxpayer. Then it's not only me as a taxpayer, it's my helper with her children who don't have a home, or she doesn't have a husband, but she's got 3 little children. She needs the money, she needs the resources to get her kids into school. How do we get buy-in from SAPS to make sure that our streets are safer, to get the drug lords and the drug peddlers off the streets, etc., etc., etc.?
Yes, that is, therein lies the problem, that you need collective responsibility. You need coordination. Everybody needs to come together. No one entity can solve the problem of the high levels of crime in this country. You must create jobs. You must create. South Africa is one of the least productive nations in the world, with what, almost now 40% unemployed in the country. You want to give people a 350 rand grant, and you're saying, if you can't earn 4,000 rand, stay at home, I'll give you 350 rand. What is wrong in earning 2,000 rand? Nothing. Put more people, let there be more visibility on the streets. But the problem that we got is there's no compliance. There's absolutely no oversight. As far as politicians are concerned, let me reiterate this point, forget about it, because all of them are just interested in power and control and want to be in charge. And you can see they only employ cadres. That is what it is about. The corruption is right. Now, even with policing, what I have said, introduce it at school level from grade 10. So what you will do, you'll attract the right kind of people. You'll reduce corruption in the police force. You'll find those that will have a passion for crime, dealing with crime and criminals that will want to take it. Same thing with nursing and others. We are not doing it. But fortunately, the Minister of Social Development, very accommodating, has agreed with me that we need to do more from a grassroots level. But I think we all, and this is why I've suggested to the President, can you shut this country down for a week and bring us all role players, civil society, legal experts, criminologists, financial experts, political parties, come together. Let's look at where we are and where we want to go. How can we put in measures to deal with this? You must improve on your criminal justice system. You're giving legal aid to the same criminals that have violated your human rights. Absolutely. It can't work. You must be more stringent in terms of the punishment, because the punishment, here it is. Somebody goes out there and comes out with 500 and bail. You understand who's been selling drugs that have destroyed tens of thousands of people's lives? Nothing is happening. So you need a holistic approach. And, I want to just tell you very quickly, not that I want to really talk about it. I've done an awards day in Grabouw the other day. Okay. And I'm doing one at Denhausen tomorrow. just trying to get these children, like getting them Steenberg United Football Club, trying to get these children out of the streets, getting them occupied with sports development, giving them awards, encouraging them. I've taken 33 girls. I have now gone and trained them at my own cost to become beauticians in nails, eyelashes, facials, and everything. There's a lot we can do if we can come together, you know, understanding that South Africa belongs to all. All these are our children. These are our people. We need to find solutions. That is what we need to do. But it's so difficult. You know, in Parliament, you raise this, my sister, day in and day out. You raise this 300 billion rand getting lost through corruption, through local government alone. They will do nothing because they all benefit from that's how they sustain themselves. So we must have a holistic approach. If you look at Cape Town, why is it such a high level of alcohol abuse there? Remember the DOP system many years ago. People used to get paid with alcohol, not with money. And now you've got fetal alcohol syndrome. I said that these farming communities should contribute to a social development fund to help these people to alleviate this alcohol problem. That's not being done.
Unfortunately, that's where we have to leave it. Thank you indeed for your insights. Always a pleasure talking with you, leader of the NFP in Parliament, Ahmed Mansoor Sheikh Imam, talking about have we lost the war on crime in South Africa? And I'll end up by saying, yes, we have. But it's never too late. If common sense prevails, if we come together, collectively, we can make a difference, inshallah. Till the next time, as always, Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
It is exactly 9:37. News and views right here on Salam Media. Standing by to talk to us is Professor Mohammed Haroon, Senior Researcher at Al Jamaa.